It's getting very interesting. Without a doubt, a deep state reckoning. It's happening before our very eyes. The single biggest abuse of power scandal in American history is about to be laid bare for all to see. Sources tonight are confirming to me that things are most likely even worse than we originally thought. We have that new letter from the Assistant Attorney General, Stephen Boyd, revealing that the DOJ's investigations into the origins of the Russia probe is broad in scope. It is multifaceted. And that's not all. According to Boyd, the investigation will cover, quote, activities of U.S. and foreign intelligence services, as well as non-governmental organizations and individuals. Now, here's what likely this all means. The Attorney General, along with U.S. Attorney John Durham, they are now investigating how foreign spy agencies, allies of the United States, were used likely by Obama administration's top officials in the intel community to spy on Trump and the Trump campaign and the Trump transition team and the Trump presidency. In other words, to explain this investigation is now examining how high-ranking intel officials literally were outsourcing what is politically motivated dirty work to spy agencies in friendly countries, clearly to circumvent American laws and the civil liberties of the American citizens, and used in an effort to rig a presidential election. That is now how deep this possibly goes. That would mean people like Comey and Brennan and Clapper may want to pay close attention, because this is not looking good for any of them at this hour. We now know the Attorney General has requested that America's intelligence agencies do these three specific things. One, preserve all relevant records. Two, ensure the availability of witnesses that may be pertinent to the review. Three, begin identifying and assembling all materials that may be relevant to this full comprehensive review. And there's more. In this very same letter, the Assistant AG, Stephen Boyd, is outlining that the investigation is, quote, a collaborative, ongoing effort between the department's review team and the intelligence community, as well as foreign actors, like we were just talking about. One such foreign actor we all know about is Christopher Steele. He is set to be interviewed by American investigators in coming days. And as you know by now, Steele was the former spy, foreign spy, MI6, paid by Hillary Clinton, paid by the DNC, even paid by the FBI at one point to create that dirty Russian dossier. The one that, even the New York Times says was likely Russian disinformation from the beginning. We certainly know it was full of lies, misinformation, and propaganda. And by the way, he says himself, Christopher Steele, he has no idea if any of this is true, none whatsoever, in an interrogatory in Great Britain. But this is the same unverifiable information that even its own author won't confirm that, in fact, was used by James Comey, the FBI director at the time, to secure the first FISA warrant in October of 2016 against not only Trump campaign associate Carter Page, but it opened a back door to spy on the entire Trump campaign, then the entire Trump transition team, then the entire Trump White House when he became president. So let's be clear. 99.9% of American intelligence officers, workers in this country, they perform dangerous and courageous work. They use the best skills in the industry, the surveillance tools, to keep Americans safe from terrorism, hostile actors at home and abroad. But in the height of the 2016 election, just a few select, high-ranking, bad actors, they abused all of these powerful tools of intelligence that we entrust to them. And it's clear tonight they trampled on the rights of many Americans. They committed what is clearly a premeditated fraud on FISA court judges to illegally obtain warrants with information they knew was false. And by the way, they withheld that from the judges, and they used their top secret access as a backdoor into the communications in the Trump campaign, Trump transition, and even the Trump presidency. Remember, Watergate was nothing but a bungled burglary. These actions represent what would be a clear present danger to our constitutional republic. These tools of intelligence are so powerful. It's that serious. And that's not all. They used undercover informants to spy on multiple Trump campaign officials, and yet another attempt to spy on Team Trump. They spread Christopher Steele's Russian lies throughout the federal government. They even leaked it to the press to influence the 2016 election. And yes, it looks like they used foreign intelligence agencies to spy on American citizens so they can circumvent the American Constitution and American laws and those associated they were going after with Donald Trump. Sadly, what I've just outlined is likely just the tip of the iceberg. This is dangerous. This is criminal conduct from top officials in the U.S. government and the Biden-Obama government. Now, in coming weeks, months, Barr, Durham, they will conduct, as they say, a broad investigation. We will get the answers. Make no mistake, we will get justice. On this program, we take government accountability and the powerful tools of intelligence that are designed to protect us, not be abused. We take it all seriously. However, that's not the case among Democrats on the Hill. We saw this on display yesterday. Jerry Nadler dusting off the cobwebs and the mothballs on a felon, known liar who obstructed justice. John, every Republican's worse than Watergate, Dean, so he could compare Trump to Richard Nixon in front of the House Judiciary Committee. Oh, just like he compared George W. Bush to Nixon also. That embarrassing political circus and stunt is just one small part of the Democrats' plan to smear, slander, besmirch President Trump around every turn. For them, this is all about politics 2020. Instead of actually passing laws, serving the American people, making us safe and secure or more prosperous, this is where their focus is. Now, Democrats are now attempting to investigate, believe it or not, the Russia hoax for yet a fifth time. And today they move forward with a plan. They want to now go after the AG and former White House counsel Don McGahn in contempt and hold them in contempt for refusing to participate in their sham hearings. And meanwhile, Congressman Cummings, he's planning to hold more sham hearings. Barr and Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross in contempt for not turning over documents related to the U.S. Census of all things. And as per usual, Democrats are abusing their power to turn the government into a weapon against political opponents. We'll have a lot more on that in a moment. But first, we do turn to our 2020 campaign trail watch, where sleepy, creepy, crazy Uncle Joe Biden made several rare appearances today in Iowa. And the so-called Democratic frontrunner's first event attracted a whopping, well, less than 200 people. And that's on the high side. 200. That's it. This was a speech heavily promoted by his friends in the media mob. Compare that to any Trump rally. Compare that to the outside of the Trump rally. There is a massive enthusiasm gap for crazy Uncle Joe, and probably for good reason. Not only does Biden carry the weight of this historically awful Obama-Biden track record, but the former vice president, doesn't exactly inspire any voters. Today, all 85 at one rally attendees were treated to a meandering, rambling 25-minute speech where sleepy, creepy, crazy Uncle Joe called President Trump an existential threat to the country. Such a powerful, well, statement by Uncle Joe.
Look, I believe that the president is literally an existential threat to America. He is a genuine threat to our core values. America was built in the way we were built, basic core values: decency, honor, leaving no one behind, realizing that there are things that are bigger than you in America, that we have to get together, we have to cooperate. But this is a guy who does everything to separate and frighten people. It's about fear and loathing.
Sleepy, creepy, crazy Uncle Joe is apparently not happy that President Trump, well, he continues to question his competency for office. All we need to do is look back at the 8 prior years when they were in office. Yeah, a disaster. Take a look.
I'd rather run against, I think, Biden than anybody. I think he's the weakest mentally. And I like running against people that are weak mentally. I think Joe is the weakest up here. The other ones have much more energy. I don't agree with their policies, but I think Joe is a man who is, I call him 1% Joe, because until Obama came along, he didn't do very well. Joe Biden thought that China was not a competitor of ours. Joe Biden is a dummy. Joe Biden thought China was not a competitor. China made $500 billion over a short period of time against Obama, Biden, and for many, many years.
So after decades in the Washington swamp, well, crazy Joe Biden has acquired, well, a ton of baggage. Much like Hillary Clinton, it could be his downfall. Last night, HBO's Bill Maher actually admitted what we've been saying, that Hillary Clinton was a terrible candidate, and she also obstructed justice, all while, of course, taking a shot at Trump. But she did obstruct justice, and she did, well, commit felonies. Take a look.
You know, there's a lot of reasons why the Democrats lost, and many of them were Hillary was a terrible candidate. That's absolutely true.
She didn't help the situation with the emails in terms of how she handled it with her answers and her actions.
Absolutely. No, right. And she committed obstruction of justice. Now, Trump did, I think, in much worse fashion, but, you know, I mean, smashing up your your phones and your hard drives.
They had a story about it, but it was a bad outcome.
Yeah, okay.
Hat tip to Bill Maher. He actually told the truth. A guy on the left told the straight-on truth. Yeah, go ahead, try it yourself. See if you delete subpoenaed emails, ask them to wash the hard drive, and bust up devices and remove SIM cards after they're subpoenaed. Good luck to you.